section on wisdom, page 709. The search for knowledge. The search for knowledge is incumbent upon everyone. Education and diligent study elevates and ennobles the human person. Several aspects of the search are developed in these passages. And first, the search for truth is a religious obligation, and the search takes us back to the source of the universe from whence comes all truth. Second, an important aspect of learning is to examine oneself. This includes recognizing the extent of our ignorance, how little we know. Third, knowledge is not handed to us, but requires us to comprehend a topic and make it our own. Therefore, the student makes thorough efforts to understand the matter from all angles. Fourth, the search should be broad, embracing all religions and cultures, including all the sciences. Several of Father Moon's remarks in this section were addressed to gatherings of academics and scientists. Others describe his personal search for truth. Number 1, God and his principles are the starting point for understanding. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 9:11. Understanding is the reward of faith. Therefore, do not seek understanding that you may believe, but believe that you may understand. As was said, except ye believe, ye shall not understand. Isaiah 7:9. And this is from St. Augustine on the Gospel of John 29.6 in Christianity. Without faith there is no knowledge. Without knowledge there is no virtue. Virtuous conduct. Without virtues there is no deliverance, and without deliverance there is no perfection. Nirvana. This is from the Uttarad Hyayana Sutra 28.30 in Jainism. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives to all men generously and without reproaching, and it will be given to him. James chapter 1, verse 5. Yet among the mature we do impart wisdom, although it's not a wisdom of this age, or of the rulers of this age who are doomed to pass away. But we impart a secret and hidden wisdom of God, which God decreed before the ages for our glorification. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 4 through 7. Carefully ponder moral principles and cultivate their source. From Chu Si in Confucianism. Truth is the way, truth is the goal of life, reached by sages who are free from self-will. Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.6 in Hinduism. A disciple in training will comprehend this earth, the realm of death, and the realm of the gods. A disciple in training will investigate the well-taught path of virtue. Even as an expert, garland maker picks flowers. Dhammapada 45 in Buddhism. Thinking is like the drilling of a well. If we're persistent, we'll reach clear water. At first it must be muddied, but by gradually scraping away, it will naturally become clear. Chu Si in Confucianism. He who devotes himself to the study of the law of the Most High will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients, and will be concerned with prophecies. He will preserve the discourse of notable men, and penetrate the subtleties of parables. He will seek out the hidden meanings of proverbs, and be at home with the obscurities of the parables. He will serve among great men, and appear before rulers. He will travel through the lands of foreign nations, for he tests the good and the evil among men. Ecclesiasticus 39.1.4 1 through 4. By collecting contrasting, divergent opinions, I hope to provoke young readers to push themselves to the limit in the search for truth, so that their wits may be sharpened by their investigation. It is by doubting that we come to investigate, and by investigating that we recognize the truth. Peter Abelard, Inquiry into Divergent Views of the Church Fathers in Christianity. The most useful piece of learning for the uses of life is to unlearn what is untrue. Antisthenes in Hellenism. Freethinkers are those who are willing to use their minds without prejudice and without fearing to understand things that clash with their own customs, privileges, and beliefs. This state of mind is not common, but is essential for right thinking. Where it is absent, discussion is apt to become worse than useless. Leo Tolstoy in Humanism. The teachings of Sun Myung Moon. The ultimate purpose of religion can be attained only when one first believes it in one's heart and then puts it into practice. However, without first understanding beliefs, do not take hold. Exposition of the Divine Principle in the Introduction. Do not recklessly make a move when you are given a vague teaching. Do not make a move unless the direction is established in clear truth. Even if someone propounds a new teaching with great persuasiveness, do not simply believe it. First, discuss it with someone who is more able-like than you. From Volume 3, page 212, November 1st, 1957. Although you have joined the Unification Church, it does not answer all your questions. If it does not answer all your questions, then pack up and leave. Volume 150, page 110, September 4th, 1960. Philosophers, saints, and sages set out to pave the way of goodness for the people of their times. Yet so many of their accomplishments have become added spiritual burdens for the people of today. Consider this objectively. Has any philosopher ever arrived at the knowledge that could solve humanity's deepest anguish? Has any sage ever clearly illuminated the path by resolving all the fundamental questions of human life in the universe? Have not their teachings and philosophies raised more unsettled questions and thus giving rise to skepticism? If we are created in such a way that we cannot live apart from God, then surely our ignorance of God consigns us to walk miserable paths. Though we may diligently study the Bible, can we really say that we know clearly the reality of God? Can we ever grasp the heart of God? Exposition of the Divine Principle in the Introduction. Before I began my path of life, I asked the question, does God exist? Only after I could give a clear answer, well, definitely God exists, did I begin my course. Volume 13, page 201, March 15th, 1964. When searching for truth, it's not enough to just accept what you read in the Bible. We need to be able to measure the truth with precision. I search for truth like a researcher who does experiment after experiment to prove his results. The Divine Principle contains many such well-tested discoveries. May 1st, 1977. What did God teach me when I was a boy? Do you know what a hard time God gave me? Step by step, I had to verify for myself the two fundamental axioms. Love passes through the shortest distance. And the origin of the universe is the Father-Son relationship. Then from these two truths, I had to work out everything else. I had to illuminate the truths of the world of the principle from this new starting point. The original Father-Son relationship that has nothing to do with the lineage of the secular world. Hence, I could not understand anything without knowing the particulars of the human fall. Now I have uncovered the origin, and from it I have revealed the law of the universe, the heavenly law. Volume 376, page 315. April 29th, 2002. Once I started seriously questioning a certain passage in the Bible, I would strive continually, even for 3 years, to solve the mystery of it, until I could shout, Eureka! I would push myself to penetrate the root of the problem. Volume 35, page 38, September 27th, 1970.